20 ways to raise capital for your business. One of the major challenges that people have is the issue of capital. Now listen to me. You need to understand that in business, your business destiny is not determined by the size of the capital you start with. I want to help you understand that capital is available all around you. All you need to do is to know that they are available and to be able to discover how to access them.
On RichNation WBPT podcast, the #1 podcast in the world, we introduce you to the people and ideas, and we bring people together.
20 ways to raise capital for your business. Well, in the course of sharing with people in our different seminars and mixing up with people in our different trainings, I've come to realize that one of the major challenges that people have is the issue of capital. Most of the people I've met will tell you, well, I want to start a business. I would have loved to have a business of my own, but I don't have money, capital now, capital. And the issue of capital has become a major roadblock to people starting businesses of their own. I want to try to help you understand that capital is available all around you. All you need to do is to know that they are available and to be able to discover how to access them. The first thing I want to say is the fact that when you say you need capital, what exactly do you mean by capital? When you say you need capital, what do you need? Because most of the time, when people say they need capital, what they are talking about is money. But you've got to understand that in order for you to start and succeed in business, money is not all that you need. The first and the major capital you need is idea. The idea of what you need to do. That's why you must have heard it said over and over again, ideas rule the world. Yes, it's the truth. Ideas rule the world. Just one idea can change your life with or without money. But because a lot of people emphasize the aspect of money, I need money, they become blind to the power of the ideas that are already at their disposal. I always want to ask myself this simple question. This world was created by God. And the question I ask myself is, what capital did God have when he created the world? How much money did God use to create the world? How much pounds? How much dollars? How much naira? How much euro did he put together? Who are the builders that built the world? You now realize that God built this entire world without a single money. No dollar, no naira, no pounds, no euro. God built this world based on an idea. He had an idea, I want to create a world. And that idea created the platform for all the other necessary capital to find their way to the central point, and creation took place. You need to understand that human resource is a capital. Relationship is a capital. Idea is a capital. Experience is a capital. All these are different dimensions of capital that are already at the disposal of many people that are still crying to have money. I know a lot of people that have good relationships in their life, and by virtue of those relationships, all they need can be theirs just for the asking, but they are still looking for money, not knowing that money is hiding in the people that they are related and connected to. I know a lot of people that have all manner of ideas and powerful ideas that they have written down, but they are still looking for money when those ideas themselves are powerful enough to attract investors for the idea to be executed without them having to put in any money. I know a lot of people that have been crying out for money, whereas they have a lot of experiences, they have a lot of know-how, technical know-how that can be transferred and translated into money. So you need to ask yourself, if you say you need capital, what kind of capital are you really talking about? Now listen to me. You need to understand that in business, your business destiny is not determined by the size of the capital you start with. There are people that have started businesses with millions and they have gone bankrupt. And there are people that have started businesses with just a few hundreds and they were still able to build the business to become a conglomerate. Stories abound of people that started businesses in their garage, or people that started businesses in their car, they started businesses on their laptop, or they started businesses just in their sitting room, or just in their head as an idea. And today, these businesses have grown to become multi-million naira, multi-million dollars, multi-million pounds businesses. So you need to ask yourself, what kind of capital are you looking for? And then when you say you are needing capital, what do you need capital for? Are you planning to start a business? Or have you already started a business and the business is doing well, but you need money to expand? So are you talking of a startup capital? Or are you talking of an expansion capital? Or you've started the business is expanding, but you want to consolidate the business and be able to get it established. So are you looking for consolidation capital? Or you have been doing the business, it's well established, it's expanding, but you want to diversify into other aspects of businesses and you need money to diversify. You need to be able to know exactly what the capital you need is and what you need the capital for. So the most important thing you need to realize is that you need to start from where you are and you need to start with what you have. You need to start from where you are and you need to start from where you are. Wherever you are is the right place to start. A lot of people say, well, I don't even know where to start. Start from where you are. Where you are is the best place you can start from. Begin to navigate your way into your destiny, into your future from where you are. A lot of people say, I don't even know what to start with. Start with what you have. But I don't have anything, but you have the idea. Start with the idea. You've got to understand that what you have is enough to start and where you are is sufficient enough to start. Those who wait for favorable conditions don't always get anything done. If you're always waiting for everything to be perfect before you step out, you will never step out. One of the things you need to learn to do is to overcome the fear of trying. Most of the time, that is the major fear, the major problem that people have. That fear of stepping out, that fear of trying. Listen to me, once you step out, things will change. If you don't step out of the boat, you cannot walk on water. The only way you will know if you can walk on water is to take that first step and step out of the boat. So you can start from where you are and you can start with what you have. The best way to raise capital for your business, number one, is from your personal saving. If you have gotten a copy of our book, the How to Be a Millionaire book, you will have realized that one of the major things every individual must have is what is called a saving culture. You must make sure that for every income that comes into your life, you save a minimum of between 10 to 20% of your income. If 10 to 20% of all your income is saved over a period of time, you will have a lot of money saved up. You will have a lot of money in investment so that when you need a large sum of money to be able to start a business, expand a business, consolidate a business, or diversify, you will have the money ready. So the first thing you need to do is make sure you raise the money from your personal savings. For instance, if every month as a salary earner you save 10% of your income, or every month as a business owner you save 10% of your profits, over a period of time you will realize that if you invest and save that money, you have a lot of money stored up, unlike those that do not have any form of saving at all. Listen to me, when you save, you are saved, because every time you save money, you are saved from shame in the future. You are saved from disgrace in the future. So that's why you need to do everything you can to save money, to make sure that you have money stored up, you have money saved up, so that you will not be stranded when you need capital. So the first way to raise capital for your business is from your personal saving. So if you don't have a personal saving, you don't have any money laid up somewhere, you don't have any investment at all, it's because you have not been living the way you are supposed to live. You have not been doing what you are supposed to do. If you have been doing what you are supposed to do up until now, you will not be at a point when you don't have money. So you need to make sure that you begin now by saving. At least 10% of all your income, all your salary, all your income must be saved and invested for a future that is ahead of you. Number two, the second way to raise capital for your business is through family and friends. Family and friends. You need to know that your net worth will be determined by your network. The more people you have, the more possibility of money you can access. If you have a business idea that you want to embark upon, the best way to raise money is through your own personal savings. And if you don't have money saved up for yourself that you can use, then you need to call your friends and your family and begin to find out how many of your friends or family members can help you. For instance, if you need $1 million, do you have 10 people that can give you 100,000? If you need $1 million, do you have up to 100 people that can give you 10,000? Do you have one person that can give you that $1 million? Do you have 2 people that can give you 500,000? Do you have 4 people that can give you 250,000? Do you have 5 people that can give you 200,000? Do you have 20 people that can give you 50,000? Do you have 1,000,000 people that can give you 1,000? That's the way to go about it. So the first thing is, how much do you need? Then who are the people you have? Who are your friends and your family members that can give you some portion of that money? By the time you do that, you'll be amazed. I remember years ago, about 15 years ago, when I came out with my first set of books, I got the quotation from the printers on how much it would cost to publish the 2 set of books that I wanted to release. I gathered all my savings together, and there was no way I was going to be able to get the books printed because the money I had in savings was not enough to do what I needed to do. So the next thing I did was to make a list of friends and family members that I felt believed in me enough and saw my seriousness enough to be able to invest into my dream. And I listed out the names of people, and I went to them to share with them my dream of writing a book. I had 2 books that I wanted to write, and I went round, and I remember I listed out the names of 10 people. Out of the 10 people whose name I listed out, I ended up meeting with only 6 of them, because as I was meeting with them, I was realizing that some of them I didn't need to meet with them. I was cutting short on the list of the people. As I was meeting with individuals, hearing what they were saying, I began to gain understanding and experience and maturity on human psychology and on the behavior of human beings. And I came to the realization that I may not be able to go to all the 10 of them, because I may continue to hear the same thing. So I ended up going to just 6 of them. And out of the 6 of them that I went to, only 3 of them gave me something. All the other people had all manner of stories to tell me. But at least out of the list of 10 people, I had 3 people that gave me something, and I added what they gave me to what I had, and I started. Even though the money was not complete, I started. But before the day when the book was completed in the press, I was able to get the money that I needed to complete the project, because now that I knew I had a project, every money that came into my hand and every opportunity that I was formerly blind to, I suddenly became awake to them. Because once you have a project, you will become awake to all manner of opportunities and all manner of money-making ventures that are all around you. But you see, I had to scrape out money from my savings, and I had to adopt this second principle. So what I'm sharing with you is not something that is just theory. It's something that I have practicalized. As of today, I've applied all these different principles at different points in time when I needed money. Every time when I need money, I sit down. How much do I have in savings? That's the first thing I think about. Okay, since it's a new project, do I have people that can invest into it? Do I have friends and family I can talk to that can invest into it? That's the way I go about it. And I begin to apply all these principles and all the other ones I'm going to be sharing with you. And at the end of the day, I get what I need to be done. So, do you have friends and family that can help you? That's the second way to raise capital for your business. Number 3, you can look into the possibilities of mentors and angel investors. Now, when we say mentors, your mentors may not necessarily be your friends or family, but they are people you have a level of relationship with, people that believe in you, people that are helping you to achieve your dream and become what you are supposed to become. People like this are out there, and once you have a dimension of relationship with them, you can walk up to them and share with them your dream, and you'll be amazed that some of them may be willing to help you out in the area of raising capital for your dream. There are people in your life that are mentors that may be able to give you 10,000 without feeling it. They can give you 10,000, and once they give you that 10,000, it's just part of their own seed. Some of them can give you 1,000. Some of them can give you 100 and say, okay, just take this 1,000 and take this 100 and go. And then they are not expecting any interest. They are not expecting anything. It's just their own contribution to your dream. There are people like that. You can look into your life and consider what I've just said. And they might also be angel investors. There are people that are out there. They are angel investors. They have money and they have this philanthropic mindset. Whenever they see young people, or they see intelligent people, or they see serious-minded people trying to embark on a project, they have made up their mind that they will just do everything they can to help people to achieve their dreams. And when they see that you are about to embark on something and they're able to get the proposal and see where you are heading to, and they see that you are serious about it, you'll be amazed that they will just be willing to drop something that will be able to help you to be able to achieve your dream. So number 1, your personal savings from your personal monthly savings. Number 2, friends and family. And number 3, mentors and angel investors. Number 4, the fourth way to raise capital for your business is to consider selling some of your liabilities or assets. Selling some of your liabilities or assets. Many of us, our lives are filled with liabilities. We continue to acquire liabilities with all manner of joy. And listen to me, liabilities are things that depreciate in value. Liabilities are things that does not bring money into your pocket. And when you look into your life, many of us have all manner of liabilities in our lives. When you are ready to start a business and you don't have money, why not sell off those liabilities? Why not look into your life and ask yourself, what are the liabilities I have? There have been stories of people that have had to sell their golds and jewelries just to be able to raise capital, and today they have replaced it in multiple fold. There have been stories of people that have had to sell their cars, sell their furniture, sell their electronics, just to be able to raise money for their business. There have been stories of people that have even had to go ahead to sell their assets. They've sell their lands, their properties, just to be able to raise money to start the business, because they believe so much in the business idea that they have in their heart. Now listen to me. Nobody can believe in your dream more than you do. Nobody can believe in your ideas more than you do. And nobody can see what you are seeing. So that means that you are the best person to believe in yourself. You are the best person to invest in yourself. So if you have a business idea, you have a dream, and you believe it will work, why not be the first person to invest into it? Why not sell some of your liabilities and sell some assets if possible? Since you know what you are going to achieve and you know it's possible and you are passionate about it, why not take that step in believing in yourself? And let me tell you something. Sometimes when you take that step to begin to make progress, to sell your liabilities and sell your assets, people will now begin to see how serious you are. People begin to see how much faith you have in yourself and how much faith you have in what you want to do. And most of the time, it magnetizes people and propels people to want to help you because you have shown enough sign that you are serious about what you want to do. Now listen to me. Listen and listen well. There are things in your life that you don't need. There are things in your life that you can do without. Sell them. Sell them. I remember a few years ago, a young man came to me and he wanted to go into a business. He's been in business before and things went wrong, but he needed a large sum of money to invest into a particular door of opportunity that opened up to him. And he came to me asking me for counseling on what to do and how to go about what needed to be done. And I asked him, he was a single man then, he was not married. I asked him, okay, what do you have that we can sell? I began to ask him questions. When I started asking him questions, I discovered he had two cars. One was functional, the other one was not too good. I discovered in his house, he had a deep freezer, he had a refrigerator, and he had another small mini fridge. I discovered he had AC in every room in his house, about 4 ACs. I discovered he had rugs in his sitting room and in other rooms. I discovered he had a lot of things, and I started listing them out. I told him, okay, sell the car, the second car, and then sell 3 of the ACs, only leave the one in your room, sell the deep freezer, leave the fridge and the mini fridge, sell this, sell that. By the time we listed out all the things he was to sell, he sold them and he was able to raise the money he needed. Today, he has replaced those things and even more than that. Why? Because he sold some of his assets and liabilities to be able to raise money to invest in his dream. So all you need to do is ask yourself, what do I have? What are the things I have that I can sell? Oh, but it may be difficult to replace. No, it won't be difficult when your business succeeds. When your business succeeds and money begins to flow, you suddenly realize that you can be able to replace them with ease. So do all you can, and I repeat, do all you can to make sure that you apply this principle if it applies to you. If you have landed property, you have shares, you have stocks that you can sell it off and invest in the business, and you can replace them later. The next way you can use to raise capital for your business is through Cooperative and Thrift society. This is networking with people, it's synergizing. It's called the power of synergy. Sometimes you may have people in your life that may not be willing to loan you money, but they may be willing to come with you in a network or in a synergy to raise money. So how does this operate? For instance, it can operate by you for looking for other people. If you're a salary earner, you can look for other people within your office. Maybe 10 of you can come together and you can now begin to put a particular amount together every month. Individuals will pledge to put in a particular amount every month into that fund. When they put in that money, then somebody will be giving that money every month. So for instance, if we say, okay, 1,000 every month, if you put 1,000 together and there are 10 of you, somebody will take the 10,000 the first month, the next month somebody else will take the 10,000 the next month, and you go on like that. So that means if you pick the first 10,000 the first month, you will pick again in the 11th month, and that gives you an opportunity to be able to raise capital. Another way to go about it is join an existing cooperative and thrift society, and when you join them, there is a contribution you do. You put in a particular amount on a monthly or periodic basis, and then some cooperative societies and thrift society can loan you as much as 5 times of what you have in the investment. So if you put in money every month, they can loan you as much as 5 times of what you have without interest, just to help you. It's part of what they are set up to do. So that's also another way to raise capital for your business, which you also need to consider if you are looking for money to do business. Number 6, the 6th way to raise capital for your business is going into partnership. Just as there are people that have money without ideas, there are also people that have ideas without money. And sometimes all you need to do to raise capital for your business is to look for people that have the money without the idea, and you that have the idea without the money. You all come together and you are able to get results. So there are people that have ideas without money, and there are people that have money without ideas. All you need to do is for the two of you to link up, connect together, and then you start a partnership. So if you have a business idea, write a proposal. There are a lot of high network executives that are very busy working in different corporate organizations, working in different establishments. They have money. They would love to go into business. They would love to start businesses, but they don't know who to trust. They don't know who can run the business on their behalf. So they put their money in shares, in stocks, in properties. But if they find out that there are genuine people that have business ideas that are viable, they'll be willing to invest into it. So all you need to do is, if you have a business idea, write a proposal and try as much as possible to identify all these high net worth, executive in different banks, different organizations, different corporate establishments, and then begin to send this proposal to them, inviting them into a partnership. And you'll be amazed that there are people out there with money looking for somebody that can be trustworthy so that they can put their money into the people's hand for the work to be done. I know of people like that have money. All they need is people that have good ideas that they can invest into. But you've got to understand that this is going to be based on integrity. And in partnership, all you need to do is to make sure the agreements are, the legal contracts are signed. There's an agreement. You people know what you are into, and all the conditions and the boundaries are set from upfront and from onset, and things will work. So you need to also consider going into partnership, because many times a lot of people say, no, I want to do it myself. I don't want to invite anyone. I want to do it. I'll wait until I have money. And sometimes they wait and waste away. And sometimes by the time they are waiting, somebody else starts what they have been planning to start, and it becomes difficult for them to be a pioneer again. So think of going into partnership. Number 7, you can get government grants. It's amazing. I remember traveling to one of the South African nations some time ago, and I discovered that the government had as much as 2.5 million worth of grants that was available for people, the citizenship or the citizenry, to come in and take the money. But a lot of people were not going there to collect the money because they didn't know what to do with the money. In order for you to get the money, you need to have a good business idea, good business plan, and have a good proposal. But people didn't know what to do with the money. So there are places where the money is available. The government is willing to help. There are government like that. In some African nations, in the Western world, there are government like that have the money. The government grants are there for different aspects. There are grants for women that are widows. There are grants for them to start business. There are grants for, widowers. There are grants in different, government establishment for people. But a lot of people don't know about it because they are not making an attempt to know. And even those that know, they are not ready to take advantage of it. So there are a lot of government grants available in different nations that you can take advantage of. And that will help you to be able to start the business, as long as the business will create job for people and will offer service to the community. Is something that some government will be willing to get into. Don't allow where you are to hinder where you are going to. It's very, very important. And the next thing, which is number 8, is you can also get grants from non-governmental organizations. Or, a lot of people may say, oh, but my government does not do that. In my country, there is nothing like that. Our government is not considerate. There's no money in my government. Okay, if your government is not doing it, there are non-governmental organizations, there are NGOs, there are a lot of philanthropic organizations that offer grants and offer facilities for different aspects in people's life. So you need to make sure that you do all you can to consider that aspect. So, because it is very, very important for you to be able to get that aspect sorted out. So I know that there are a lot of people that have gotten money from NGOs. Yes, your government may not give the money, but NGOs does give the money. So you can consider non-governmental organization. All you need to do is to go into the internet, find out what are the area of businesses you want to do. Go into the internet, punch it in, find out, Google it. Just Google it. Find out, are there establishments or NGOs all over the world, anywhere, that will be willing to finance the kind of project or the kind of business you want to go into. Find out their conditions. What are the conditions for you being able to get grants from them, and now begin to package yourself and position yourself to be able to apply for the grants. Or you can get a grant specialist or grant agent to help you out, and before you know it, you'll be amazed. There are people that help in writing proposals. There are people that help in writing business plan and help in writing grants. All you need to do is to contact them, and that's one of the services we offer in our establishment. When to consultants, we can help you write proposals for grants. We can help you write proposals to establishment. We can help you with your business plan. Those are some of the services we offer with just a little fee, and our prices are competitive. So you can consider that, and you'll be amazed that you'll be able to get a lot of money to do what you need to do. So don't just sit down there. The internet is powerful. There's so much opportunity out there that you can take advantage of. Now, number 9, the 9th way to raise capital for your business is through your gratuities and seasonal benefits. We all have different seasons in our lives when people give you money. For instance, if you work in corporate organizations, towards the end of the year, during the Christmas season, the end of the year, there is end of the year bonuses. Some people collect double salary at the end of the year. Towards the end of the year, some people get a lot of gifts. Sometimes when you are celebrating your birthday, when you are having your wedding, when you are doing anything special, wedding anniversary, birthdays, a lot of opportunities are out there. So seasonal benefits are things you can also use to raise capital capital. So if you know that, okay, or maybe gratuities, you are retiring, your retirement benefits, you have worked for a particular number of years and now you're about to retire, or you are working in a place where you know that if you work for 5 years or you work for 10 years, there's a particular bonus or gratuity or particular large sum of money that will be accrued to you, then you can take advantage of that. And then you can now use that to start your own business and move on in your life. So in order for you to raise capital for your business, you need to also consider gratuities and seasonal benefits. Number 10, the 10th way to raise capital for your business is trade by barter. Well, for those of you that know the history of money, you realize that money is nothing but just a legal tender. Money is a reward for solving a problem. Money is just a medium of exchange. Many years ago, centuries ago, decades ago, there was no money. Everything was done by trade by barter. If you need a car and I have a house, we can exchange. If you need rice and I have beans, you can give me rice and I give you beans. You need yam and I need a shoe, I can give you the yam and you give me the shoe. And that's what is called trade by barter. Getting what you need by giving what you have. Giving what you have to get what you need. That's trade by barter. And that's another way to raise capital for your business. So when you want to go into business, you then need to ask yourself, who are the people that have what I need? I need what I have. I remember some time ago, I needed money to embark upon a particular project. And I realized that there are people that have the money to give to me. But I also realized I had something that they needed. So what did I do? I organized a seminar to give them what they needed. I organized the seminar. I knew I had the information. I knew I had all the experience to give them what they needed, and I knew they had the money. So I organized the seminar, and people paid to come for the seminar. And through the seminar, I was able to raise money to embark on the project that I needed to embark upon. So you need to understand that sometimes all you need to do is to go into trade by barter. Trade by barter. Just use what you have to get what you want. Look for people that need what you have and have what you need. And the two of you go into an exchange. When you go into an exchange, you discover that there will be a change in that dimension, and that is very, very important. So the 10th way to raise capital for your business is through trade by barter. Number 11, the 11th way to raise capital for your business is through what is called other people's money, OPM. You know, you must have heard of other PM, OPT. You know, many of those, other people's money, other people's time, other people's money. So OPM is other people's money, and that's one way to raise capital for your business. Sometimes you need to understand that there are people that will be willing to give you money just to make sure that they get part of that business. So other people's money. So you can think of that, other people's money. And other people's money can come in different ways. Number one, it can come by you selling off some part of the business. So if, for instance, you want to start a business and you know that this business will yield X number of money, you can now come and say, look, I'm about to start this business. I'm bringing in the idea. You bring this money, and for this amount, you get this number of shares or this number of profits for this number of time. So for instance, you can go into that and give people a percentage of the profit that is anticipated for maybe 3 years, 5 years, or you can give them a part of the business, maybe 5%, 10% for a particular amount, and you can break it up like that, and before you know it, you have gotten the money, other people's money. And you can also use other people's money to maximize the opportunity. For instance, I'll give you an example. I bought some acres of land some time ago. The opportunity came and I got the acres of land, but I got the acres of land without money, but based on my integrity and my relationship with the people that own the land. And I promised that I was going to pay them instrumentally over a period of time as the money came. And all I did was, the land was mine now based on integrity, and I needed to sell. So I started selling the land, even though I've never paid a dime on the land. And as I was selling, I was raising money from people, and the money I was collecting from people, I was using to pay for the land. And over a period of time, I was able to completely pay for the land without putting a single penny of my money in there. And all the money I used to pay for the land was gotten from other people. So that's a way of using other people's money. There are people that will be willing to give you money based on trust, based on integrity, and you'll be able to now use the money to maximize opportunity. But the key word there is integrity. If you are not a man of integrity, the same opportunity I explored by using other people's money to get the portion of land, there was somebody else that did the same thing, but he also collected money from people, but he never paid for the land. He spent the money doing a lot of other things, and he was not able to meet up. At the end of the day, his integrity was soiled, and the whole business broke up on his head. So you need to understand that once you are a man or a woman of integrity, there is so much power in integrity. Integrity can give you so many things that you'll be amazed. Integrity will give you more than money. It will give you what money cannot even buy. So you need to do everything you can to make sure you build a life of integrity. And that's why no matter how young you are, start living a life of integrity, because sometime in your future you will need it, and it's very, very important. So other people's money is another thing. Then number 12, insurance payoff. Well, sometimes There are a lot of people that get into all kinds of situations and circumstances in their life where they have to be paid off based on insurance, and that's another way. Even though it's not something you can plan for, it's not something you can hope for, but sometimes you find yourself in that situation where you have insurance money available to you, and now you can now use your insurance premium or insurance payoff to be able to go ahead, start the business you want to start. Number 13, the next way to raise capital for your business is start with the idea from where you are. Start with the idea from where you are, because sometimes you need to understand that in life you need to start first, because you don't have to despise the day of little beginning. When you start, even God wants to be sure that you believe in what you are doing, you are faith in yourself, and you are willing to take the step. And once you take that first step, before you know it, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. That first step is very, very important, is very, very vital, and you need to take it. And once you take that first step, many other things will just begin to fall in line. There are stories of people that just started out without any money. They have the idea and they started out with the idea, and that's it. Before you know it, the money started coming and things started changing. You don't really need money. You can start with the idea. I remember a young man came to me also some time ago. He wanted to go into dry cleaning. He wanted to start the dry cleaning company, and he told me he needed millions to buy the machine, rent a office, get things, get staff. And I told him, you don't need all that money. Since nobody's willing to borrow you money, you don't have any collateral, you don't have any savings, your family are not there, your friends are not there. Why not start with what you have? He said, I don't have anything. I said, no, you have the idea. You have the idea. You have the strength. You have the business plan. Start with it. I said, can you wash? He said, yes. I said, so if you can wash, that's all you need to be a dry cleaner, is to be able to wash clothes. I said, if you know you can wash, then why not start out with that? I said, all you need to do is within your catchment area, within your church, within your office, within your neighborhood, within your family, tell people, and you are available for them to help them wash their clothes and wash their houses. And once you start out with that, you begin to raise money. And I told him, look for people, go to their house, tell them you come to their house to wash their clothes on weekends. You can go on Saturday to do the washing, and you go on Sunday to do the ironing, or you can go any day they are available. And I said, when you go, they will start paying you a token, and that will work for you. So that's how he started. He goes to people's houses. He will use their water, he will use their soap, he will use their buckets, he will use their rope to dry up the clothes, and God will give him the sun. He didn't need to pay for the sun, he didn't need to pay for the water, the soap and everything, and he had the hand. God already gave him a life and an energy to wash, and he had a brain to know what to do with clothes, and he started out with that, and from there he was able to build on it, and today he has his own business, he has machines, and he's doing well. So you need to understand that you can start with what you have. Start with the idea from where you are, and that will take you to the next level. The next way to raise capital for your business, or to be able to move your business to the next level, is to buy an existing business without money. It's called acquisition. You must have heard of mergers and acquisition. Now, when you hear of mergers and acquisition, most of those mergers and acquisition that took place, there was no money involved. Sometimes there are a lot of companies that are going bankrupt, and just to be alive, they are willing to be acquired by anybody that is ready to acquire them. So if you plan, one of the reasons why you want to raise money is because you want to diversify, that you can look into an hailing sector of the economy, or look into businesses that are sick or dying, and you can buy them over without money. You can buy them over without. You'll be amazed that there are people that are frustrated. That same field you're applying to go into, there are people in that field that are frustrated, waiting. I remember years ago also, a man came to me and told me how he wanted to go into barbing salons. He wanted to open a lot of barbing salons, and he wanted them to be like a chain. And he said he needed money. He had 2 barbing salons already, but he would have loved to be able to have like 10 or 20 in different areas. And I told him, well, if you need like 10 or 20 and you want us to consult for you, we'll do that. So he paid us for consultancy, that we should come and do a consultation for him and help him in taking care of everything, and he paid good money. But guess what? All I told him was, there are more than 20 barbing salons out there where people have paid for the shop, their rent has not yet expired, they have all their plans and all their equipment, they even have the staff, but the owners are frustrated because there's no profit. But you have already run the first and the second one, and you have what it takes to run and turn any business around when it comes to the area of barbing salon. Why not find out? And all he did was to send words out, and before you know it, he was able to get a lot of barbing salons that are willing to sell off. And out of the ones he got, he only paid upfront for 2. All the other ones, he needed to pay instrumentally from the business as he was running the business. So you need to find out. And there was a story of a man also that wanted to go into fuel. He wanted to start opening fuel stations. But instead of going through the process of buying land and building fuel station, all he did was to do an advert in the National Daily, that if you have a fuel station that you want to sell, or you have a fuel station that you are tired of, consult us. We are willing to buy any fuel station. And people wrote in from all over the nation. So you can do the same thing for barbing salon, for any aspect. And before you know it, you can acquire a lot of businesses without money, money, or you can acquire them with little money. And that's one way to raise capital for your business or for expansion. The next way to raise capital, which is number 15, is to sell your ideas. Ideas are there and you can sell them. The fact that you have sold the idea does not erase the idea from your mind. So that you are selling an idea does not mean that the idea will now die in your brain. And if you sell an idea, you can raise money from that one idea to now be able to execute another idea, because I know you have many ideas in your heart. Hundreds of ideas flows through our mind on a daily basis. It's only the ones you are able to capture and act upon that becomes yours. So if you have an idea in your mind, no problem, sell the idea. And once you sell the idea, you are able to make money from what you sold, and then you're able to execute the next idea. Yes, I've sold scripts before. I've written a lot of script that I've sold, and I've made money by selling the script. And by making money from the script, I can write another script. It doesn't cancel my brain. Do you understand that? And I've also, apart from that, I've written books. I've written books for people as a ghostwriter, and I've made money from that because I have an idea on how to write books. So I can write books for people and make money as a ghostwriter. There was a time I actually wanted to even sell off some of my books that I've published and printed, and they were willing to buy about 2 of them. But later on, I changed my mind. So you can sell off. For instance, if you know how to do something, you can sell the idea of how to do that thing to many people. So you just generalize that order technology, and that's it. For instance, if you want to start a soap factory or a tissue paper manufacturing factory or a candle making factory, and you don't have money, then you can begin to tell people how to produce candle. Teach people, okay, sell the idea how to produce soap, how to produce candle, and they will start paying you for that. You teach them how to produce the soap, teach them how to give them all the secrets, and they will go and start. And that doesn't stop you from starting. That doesn't mean that you have the information has been deleted from your brain. If they start in a state, you can start in another state. If they start in a local government or a borough or a county, you can go to another county or borough or local government, and before you know it, you are moving on. So you can sell your ideas to raise money. Very, very important. Another way to raise capital for your business is to position yourself for a miracle with your seed. What do you do by doing that? Well, I believe in miracles. I believe that givers never lack. I believe that givers are always rising no matter what. So if you are a giver, if you have a little money and the money you have is not enough to do what you need, why not look for somebody that needs what you have and sow that money out as a seed? Give it to somebody. For instance, if you have 100,000 and you need 1 billion, 100,000 to 1 billion, the journey is far, and there's somebody else that needs 100,000. Why not invest that 100,000 in somebody's life and sow that as a seed to help somebody's dream to become a reality as a miraculous point of contact for you receiving your own? And you'll be amazed at how miracles happen. I've seen it happen. It's happened in my life many times, and it has happened in the life of many people. So you can position yourself for a miracle with your seed. So look for a place to sow a good seed in a good soil, and harvest will come in the form of what you need for your business. So sometimes you don't really need money. What you need is what you need. You think you need money, you need a business. And there have been stories of people that have sown, and I have given money before, and like the opportunity I told you about the estate, I've given and given and given because I was believing God that one day I will come to a level in my life where I will own houses and own properties and own estate. But I've been giving money even though I've never given lands before. But the harvest came not by me having money to buy land, but by me having an opportunity to get the lands without money. And God also raised way for me to be able to raise the money through other people's money to pay. So you need to go into miracles and sow, and there will be a miracle. And I believe in miracles. Another way to raise capital for your business is marketing. Internet business or marketing. There are a lot of businesses on the internet and a lot of marketing. You can go into forex trading, you can go into marketing of internet products, you can go into marketing of products for a lot of other companies. Without money, there are a lot of products out there where people are looking for marketers. They have the product. A lot of companies, a lot of manufacturers are looking for marketers, and that's another way to raise money for your business. I'm a manufacturer. I produce things. I'm an author. I've written over 20 books. I need marketers. I don't need you to have money. You can just come. Once you're a person of integrity, I give you the books, you go and sell, and you make percentage interest on it. You make money. So there are a lot of people like that. It may not be books. It may be other products that are looking for marketers that they can give their products to. They are looking for marketers. They are looking for distributors, and they can give their products to you without any money. And then by selling the product, you are able to raise money to now execute your own personal idea. All you need is integrity. All you need is integrity. So integrity is very, very important, and that is one thing that is lacking in the life of many people. So you can go into marketing or internet business just to raise money, and then you can now go ahead and use it to do what you need to do. Well, the next way to raise capital for your business, number 18, the next way to raise capital for your business is through loans and bank facilities. You can take an overdraft, or you can apply for a microfinance. There are a lot of countries that have all kinds of microfinance bank, a lot of banks that release money to people to start businesses without collateral or with little little collateral, or the business itself being the collateral. So explore those opportunities. Explore those opportunities. That's another way that you'll be able to use to raise, or you can go for bank loans. But I will not advise you to get a loan to start a business. If you have started a business and it's doing well, you need money to expand or consolidate it, then you can consider loan. But once you're about to start a business, I won't really advise to go into loan. However, it's not something that you should not think about. It's a risk worth taking if you are so sure of the kind of business you want to go into. So you need to also consider loans and bank facilities. That's the 18th way to raise capital for your business. Number 19. The 19th way to raise capital for your business is by selling shares. Selling shares. You see a lot of companies going public because they want to raise more money to be able to expand and diversify their businesses. So that's why you see a lot of quoted companies. They started as one-man business. They started a private limited liability company. They started as partnerships or sole proprietorship, but they grew to become what they are because at a point in time the owners decided not to be the owners. They decided to bring in other people into the ownership of the business, and they decided to sell shares. And by selling shares, they are able to raise a lot of money that they are now going to put back into the business to strengthen the business, consolidate the business, and then go into diversification. So you can consider selling shares or going into private placement. You may not be able to sell shares as an individual, but you may be able to go into private placement and just get investors to join you in that which you need to do, and you'll be amazed at how that can change a lot of things. And finally, which is number 20, the final way I will advise you, which is another way to raise capital for your business, is to seek counsel, seek help, seek counsel, seek help. So if you need capital and you have listened to all these things and you still cannot find out how to go about it, then you need to go to a financial expert or a financial advisor and go and seek for advice and counsel on how to go about what you need to go about. Because a lot of people come to me on a weekly basis and receive phone calls, emails, and they're asking me, okay, I want this, I want that, what do I do? And some of those things I send emails, send replies to me. Some of them I invite them to meet with me. Some of them I have to take care of them free of charge and give them the counsel or give them the ideas free. Sometimes they have to pay for it, so you must be willing to do what needs to be done to get what you need to get. So these are 20 ways to raise capital for your business. These are major fundamental ways of raising capital for your business. And as you begin to go into the practical application of all these strategies that you have been given, I see you fulfilling your dream and I see you achieving your goals.
If you want to support our podcast and stay informed about our latest episodes, we're always creating new content every week for our podcast. Subscribing is the best way to ensure that you don't miss out on any of it. Please hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate it. God blesses you all and be legendary, my friends.